What do you say, baseball fans? Rye Bread talking baseball, episode 94. Class of 94, where you at? Rays steal one from the Braves. That was an ugly game, but Yandy fucking Diaz. That's right, I said it. That's our guy. Yandy, yoked. And the Rays end up winning 7-5. Ugly baseball game, and frankly, it was an ugly day for baseball again yesterday. Man, you cannot take your eyes off the umpiring. It's been atrocious. You got two heroes from yesterday. One of them with an umpire assist that refused to call a strike on Soto, and then he ends up going yardy. It's a pretty looking Soto. And then, of course, if you're a Mets fan, for shame. Taijuan Walker brushes a baseball off the foul line, the fair line, into the dugout or near the dugout, and then starts arguing with the umpire as the umpire's standing there pointing fair ball, and the Buccos clear the bases. Usually it's the Pirates on the other end of that. Mets look terrible, but pulled from the fire by Conforto. Conforto hits a bomb. Mets end up saving the day. And they end up not wearing a embarrassing loss. But still, that play was just gross, man. You just sit there and argue with the umpire like he's going to change his mind in the middle of the play. It just goes to show you the mentality of the players these days is a little different. He's sitting there arguing with the guy as runs are crossing the plate. It was surreal. I've never seen anything like it. It was foul. And then Rojas, the Mets manager, nice look. It was a fair ball, and he's out there wanting to fight the guy. He's going to get suspended. He had to get physically restrained, arguing the wrong side of an argument. That's not a great look for Rojas. But, I mean, the Mets are going to be out of the playoffs, so it's not going to matter anyway, and he'll probably lose his job. Because the Mets are garbage, as per. It's too bad. I like some of those players. Say what you want about Stroman. I like Stroman. I like Walker. That was a bad look for Walker, though. Goodness gracious. Sitting there arguing with the umpire as if he's going to change his mind in the middle of the play as the base is clear. What are you doing, guy? You don't have to be a baseball fan to know that was a bad look. But it all ended up working out for the Mets. And while we're doing the cards, I'm trying to limit it. Our boy, Jazz, looking like a pretty rough arm injury, shoulder injury for Jazz yesterday. Man, it's not a good... He is so exciting. Jazz Chisholm Jr., one of the most exciting young players in the game, and it looks like he's going to go on the shelf for a while. It's kind of depressing. But other superlatives from yesterday. Our boy Barnsey. Brew Crew ends up winning 8-0 against the Reds. Sonny Gray's got some pine tar on his hip, and he goes out there like a dog that's had some human food and starts rubbing his behind all over the mound. That's where we are. Where you can't have any pine tar on your uni. That was kind of funny. It's not really that big of a deal. But we can't go any further without mentioning how the Yankees destroyed the Red Sox with a AAA team. I didn't know half the guys on the Yankees lineup. All right, I'm not the world's biggest Yankee fan, but I follow baseball a little bit. 94 times now, at least. And man, I don't know these guys. And they stuck it to the Red Sox 9-1 yesterday. Yeesh. Gross, man. But Yankee fan spitting on Veritek's daughter, apparently, allegedly, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't get any better. They're throwing baseballs at players, and now they're spitting on children, apparently. I don't have that confirmed, but that's what's been reported, is that Veritek's daughter was getting spit on by Yankee fans. Could you imagine? They are going to take the title from Philly. That dude who barfed all over that girl on purpose, he's still the all-time loser. But man, Yankees vying for the title. People just forgot how to act. It's stupid. And I don't know if maybe the fans are just getting angry because they have to watch Major League umpiring. Maybe that's what's getting everybody all hot and bothered. Major League umpiring is just gross. Terrible. There's nothing positive to say about it, except for the guy in the Mets-Buccos game who actually got the call right and then had to run the manager of the Mets for, I don't know, making contact. I'd be surprised if Rojas wasn't suspended. But I'm not giving the umps a pass, man. It's just been bad. It's been hard to watch. It's taken away from the game, and there's no accountability. These guys that are consistently bad are still bad. Oh, his consistency is a 98%, and there's not a... I mean, where's the strike zone? Wherever he feels like it? Man, it's frustrating. Frustrating stuff. But before we go any further, you've got Shohei going tonight against Swerve and Irvin. Huge game for Angels, A's. The Angels need to start winning games. Everybody's talking about Shohei should be the MVP. Man, if he's on a sub 500 team, it's not going to matter. And if Trout comes back and the Angels make a charge, the conversation is not going to be about Shohei. It's going to be how Trout saved the day. The great white hope. So the Triple Crown thing aside, Shohei has more home runs than Guerrero. He has control over Guerrero winning the Triple Crown. And right now, if the voting was today, it would have to be Shohei. And if Vladdy wins the Triple Crown and then somehow doesn't win the MVP, it's not like I'm going to be crying in my beer. Shohei's the man. I'm not going to argue with people that say that Shohei's better. I just think that if you win the Triple Crown, it's deservedly so. In the modern baseball where everything is so specialized, to lead the league in RBIs, runs batted in, average, and homers, it's unprecedented in this environment, right? It's been almost 10 years since it happened. And then before that, I don't remember how long it was, but it was a long time before that too. It used to happen a lot more frequently when the best hitter in the league was just by far and away the best player, right? Nowadays, there's a lot of competition, man. And the way that it's specialized, it's hard to hit for average and power. But Vladdy's like up at 335 or something the last time I saw. I mean, just mashing. Don't even start with the OPS. OPS is the metric by which players are judged. And Vladdy leads the league, or at least the American League, but I think he leads the major leagues in OPS. When I was looking at it, I just had it sorted by AL because I was looking at the MVP race. And if Shohei were to win it, nobody's going to be upset about that. But man, stay away from Angel fan. I mean, it was like I was committing a hate crime by saying that Vladdy with a Triple Crown would win. Despite the fact that the last time it happened, Miggy beat Trout for the MVP. And those guys, those old guy baseball writers, they're still the ones voting for this award. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. And you're not going to get an argument from me. It's just everything on Twitter right now is so heated. You can't have a halfway opinion, right? You're either all in or all out, which is absurd. But I also wanted to think before we go, the Rays are going to host the Orioles, and they need to make some hay against this team. The Orioles' ERA is gross. The starters' ERA is above 8, and the relief ERA is above 8. You got to sweep this series, or at least take all but one. You lose a game here or there, it's baseball, it happens, but you have to win the games you're supposed to, especially in that division, and especially with Boston heading to Buffalo to play the Blue Jays. Yankees have a day off, and then going to play Philly. And that's going to be a tougher matchup than you would think it would be a tougher matchup with Philly getting healthy. So Rays have an opportunity here to jump into the driver's seat because Boston's got those tough games against Toronto coming, and you have to have a lopsided number against the Orioles. It's going to come back to haunt you if you do not. And before we go, like I said, one thing to mention, we're being robbed. It was going to be San Diego at Atlanta, and you could have seen Tatis and Acuna on the same field, but since Acuna's hurt, it's not going to happen. But after the Braves are giving away their games, they're tougher than I thought they were going to be without Acuna in the lineup. But they managed to just gift a game to the Rays yesterday. Yandy Diaz, like we said, with the SOS Cuba. He's fighting hard for that, and I don't have a problem with a player taking a stance like that for his homeland. That's pretty cool stuff for old Yandy. So political things aside, it's his right to do it. He's probably going to get fined for writing that on his cover, but that's neither here nor there. Here we go. We're at the 10-minute mark. We love you. We'll see you again tomorrow. We're going to do 162.